paranormal interview contains serious and often distressing events and is not intended for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
The Queen Mary was built in the 1930s and embarked on its inaugural voyage on May 27, 1936, from Southampton, England. It traveled the world's oceans for 31 years, and in that time she sailed through storms thrown at her by Mother Nature and those devised by man. She weathered disasters and brought families together. She saw sorrow and joy, pain and pleasure, and became part of history itself. Death was a constant companion for the Grand Liner. She caused hundreds of fatalities when she struck the ill-fated HMS Curaçao and must take responsibility for the deaths of countless German and Italian prisoners of war while transporting them in horrendous conditions early in World War II. In 1965, she was sold to the city of Long Beach, and almost from the moment the ship docked, stories of the paranormal began to surface. Those working to prepare her for her dry dock would tell of seeing strange figures out of the corner of their eyes. They would hear conversations where no one else was present. Tools would disappear only to return up somewhere else in the ship, in areas where the owners had never been. The reasons for these sudden manifestations of spirits may never be known, but some have speculated that the permanent residents of the Queen Mary knew that their days of sailing the open seas were over. Their displeasure was being shown as the Grand Liner is being transformed from luxury ship to tourist attraction. These are some of the most famous ghost hauntings on the Queen Mary. John Peter was only 18 in 1966 when he worked on board the Queen Mary down in the engine room. Periodically, the captain of the ship would call for watertight door drills. When this occurred, an alarm would sound, and the crew would have only a brief time to get to their stations, or be caught in an area where they did not belong. John was too slow and was crushed by now the infamous watertight door number 13. John Peter is known to haunt the area in shafts allied by door 13 and has become famous for his aloofness towards men and his forwardness towards women. John seems to prefer the company of ladies and likes to stroke their hair and tickle their ears, and some have even reported feeling his breath on their cheeks. Many people have reported seeing shadows dart down the hallways as they approach and then quickly disappear. The Lady in White, this beautiful young woman, has been seen most often dancing to unheard music in the Queen's Saloon. This room was the main lounge while the Queen Mary was still operating as an ocean liner, and was where the rich and famous would gather to dance the night away. Her identity is not known, but she gets her moniker due to the lovely white evening gown she wears. There are many reports by guests on the ship that when they pass by the saloon, they can see her gliding across the floor, gracefully dancing to a tune only she can hear. It is said that when one tries to approach her, she will vanish into thin air, or she will just simply fade away. The Queen's Saloon is not the only place that the Lady in White has been spotted. The piano, which now sits starboard side, right next to the hotel desk. Many guests of the Queen Mary have reported seeing the Lady in White next to the piano. Some have even said that they heard her sing or humming a soothing tone. Jacqueline Torrin, also known as Jackie, one of the most infamous ghosts aboard the Queen Mary. She is said to be 5 to 6 years old. She accidentally died while sliding down the stairwell. She's been spotted in multiple areas, but her most frequently visited area is the pool room. She has been well documented around the ship. Pictures have been taken of her as well as EVPs. The most famous recording of her is through Peter James, a psychic. He first found her in the Royal Theatre. He asked who she was, and he said that she replied to meet him in the other pool room. James was confused because he did not realize that the room he was in had been the second-class pool room during the ship's sailing days. Peter did ask and met Jackie in the first-class pool, and what transpired there has now become part of paranormal legend. Peter conversed with Jackie for over 10 minutes, and the whole conversation was caught on camera. This event helped launch Peter into the spotlight and spawned the hit television show Sightings. Many things are known about Jackie. One thing is for certain. Most of the ghosts around the Queen Mary are very protective of this young girl. Once you see her, the chance and likelihood of being spotted for other entities is very high. Hello, listeners. This is Midnight Horrors. I am your host, Frank, and this is my lovely other host.
Hi, I'm Leilani.
And this is our co-host.
Hey, it's Greg.
So, we listened to the narration of the Queen Mary, so it's kind of interesting to hear that it was repurposed back in the early 1940s as a vessel to transport POWs and as well as troops, over 800,000 troops back to the stateside. So apparently during those voyages, there was this vessel, I forgot what the HMA or I forgot the name of it, Coruscant or something like that.
Yeah.
It was so there was this United States boat, battleship that was in front of it, and it was going zigzagging. And unfortunately, the Queen Mary was so fast that it actually collided with that ship. The HMS Curacoa, if I remember correctly, that's the name of it. And all the sailors in there, it was like almost close to 500 sailors. Only 99 of them survived.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I'm looking at.
So, my wife and we actually went to Long Beach and we stayed at the hotel at the Queen Mary. And
well, the reason why was because when we used to live out there, we they always throw like Halloween haunted houses on the ship and
haunted tours.
So I was always disappointed that I never got to go on the ship as long as I lived out there. So, my husband surprised us with our kids to, hey, let's stay on the ship.
I actually went.
All right.
I actually went to those that haunted tours. My older brother, after it was in 2003.
Oh wow.
He took me over there, and it was, I didn't know that place was haunted, and they actually had tours going inside the ship. They made you go into places that were haunted, but there's no guides there. They were just letting you walk around, and there's people working there who were actually scared to even stay there too. So, I always thought that the Queen Mary was like one of those ships that not sank, but was tipped over or went on its upside down for some odd reason. I didn't know that it carried so many POWs and troops, and it got its reputation because of all the death it had.
All right.
What did you hear about it, Gregory?
Who, me? Let's see. I mean, the only time I've really heard the Queen Mary has been watching what was it, Ghost Files with from BuzzFeed. They did an episode on the Queen Mary, and so they did a bunch of things about its history and going around and some of the haunted spots. But no, I haven't heard much about the Queen Mary, so I'll be learning from you guys.
Well, I did a lot of research on it, and so supposedly, I don't know if you believe in mediums or people who are supposedly psychic or can commune with the dead. Right. Supposedly, this one medium said that there's over 600 spirits in that ship.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
So, taking you guys back to when me and my wife. This is a few months ago, by the way, when we went and stayed at the Queen Mary, right?
Yeah, this summer.
Yeah, it was
Really?
well. Actually, summer's almost over. Uh, we stayed at the rooms 8-178 and 8-180.
Which room
Okay.
were me and the girls in?
180. You and the girls were in 180, and me and the boys were in 178. So we got separate rooms because there's only 2 beds in each one, and family of 6. You can only fit so
Right.
many.
We didn't want to leave the kids all by themselves.
Yeah.
So me and my two
No.
daughters went in one room, and Frank and our 2 boys went in the other room.
Right.
And we checked out the rooms first, settled down and everything. Then we went to, where'd we go? To go sign up for the haunted tour. We went to sign up for that. When we came back to our rooms, my bathroom water sink was running.
Really?
And I told Frank, and he's like, "You're just messing with me." And I said, "No, I swear, the water was just running." And so we turned it off, and that kind of freaked us out because nobody touched anything. All we did was put our stuff away and then left.
Quite frankly, I think she was trying to play a joke on me.
But later, when you did your research,
When I did my research, a lot of hotel guests have reported that their sinks come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that scared me and the girls a little bit. I was just more like, oh, wow, okay. So
yeah, we decided to take that tour.
Our tour ended, around midnight? So we were out
close
there.
It was close to midnight, yes.
Yeah, we were out there pretty late, with our kids and stuff. And, we learned a lot of things. We learned about the Lady in White, which I thought was a really good, interesting story.
Some of the famous ghosts that the tour guide said about was up in the control deck. So the first captain to sail the Queen Mary, he actually died of a heart attack. I don't know if it was during the voyage or it was on the ship when it was docked. I don't recall that part, but he was the first death on that ship. I forgot his name already. I'm not going to look him up right now, but and the first mate, was it the first mate? The one who was underneath the captain. Supposedly, a few years later, after the first captain died, this guy drank off a bottle of whiskey, a gin bottle. A gin bottle was supposed to contain alcohol. Some people say it was laundry detergent. Some people say it was acid. But either way, he drank out of it. He realized his mistake and just kind of like, oh well, I guess I'm fucked now. And he ended up poisoning himself and dying on board.
Oh my gosh.
But that's some of the stories he heard on the tour. Like,
we walked through those cabins too. We got to see where was that room with the steering wheel?
The control deck,
Control deck. We went to that. Yeah. We saw the captain's bedroom and everything, and his bathroom.
I don't know if you remember, but on the control deck by the captain's bedroom, there's like a plaque that says all the people's death, all the people who died in that ship.
Yeah.
Was actually right there as a memorial. It had all the alleged names on it. I mean, not everyone knows who the Lady in White is. No one can figure out what her name or what her deal was, why she passed away.
Right.
Yeah.
But as you can hear in the narration, people can see her in the saloon where people, the ballroom, I would say.
Right.
They see her dancing there by herself, and as well as the piano. So when we go to check into our rooms, it's like on the 4th or 3rd floor? Was it the 4th floor?
It's the main floor, but yeah,
no, it's not
it's the 3rd one.
Yeah, it's the 3rd one. All right.
Where our rooms were down the hallway. The piano is right there next to check-in, and supposedly the piano plays by itself in the middle of the night.
Or sometimes they see the Lady in White right there.
Yeah. So it said that she's around. She died on the ship because she was waiting for her husband to claim her.
That's what the story goes, because there's another story that you see her at the chapel. There's a chapel.
There's a chapel on board. So apparently, like, these married women can't exit the ship until their husbands come to claim them. So therefore, they're just constantly sailing back and forth until their husband takes them off the ship.
Claim.
You see, I have to agree. That's kind of a little bit of a tall tale.
Yeah, but apparently she was never claimed, and she passed on the ship and remains there. So.
All right. You
But
sure it wasn't someone that was just taking advantage of the world cruise?
right?
Well, remember back in those days of World War II, so you got to remember that a lot of service members, Marines,
Yeah.
or soldiers from the Army, Navy personnel, they used to go from to a different country, and they used to fall in love with the native people over there.
Right.
Italians, girls from France mainly. I'm not sure if any girls from Germany or not, but
Oh yeah, that happened.
so if they got involved and they wanted to marry them, they had to take the Queen Mary to the United States.
Oh, okay.
That way, when the service member came back, they would get married officially on United States soil, and they would become a citizen of the United
All
States.
right.
But
Oh.
apparently, this woman never got that, so that's why she remains in the ship, awaiting her husband.
Yeah, so it's pretty
Well,
tragic, but
yeah, it does add a hint of tragedy to it.
Yeah, and the other one we heard, the other stories about that one kid who was 18 years old. He was in the boiler room. So this is where you had the experience with my daughter.
Yes. So we were
Okay.
down there in the boiler room. We were looking at the swimming pool one by one. So the pool entrance was next to the boiler room, which is kind of weird. But anyways, they were telling us about a story about a little girl. What was her name? Oh, our daughter remembers because she said she felt her presence.
Are you talking about the girl in the pool?
Yeah, apparently this little girl drowned in the pool, and her spirit remains there and likes to play with children.
Jacqueline Torrin.
Jacqueline Torrin, there it is.
All right.
So, anyways, me and the girls, they only let so many people into the room because the floor was very
Right.
It wasn't safe, so not
Yeah,
everybody
right.
can hold it.
So the thing you have to remember is that the ship was owned previously by Disney,
Oh yeah.
and they
Mm.
use like some sort of smoke effects or something like that it damaged the floor. So they don't want anyone being on the balcony on that floor for periods of long time because it's just going to damage the floor.
They're scared of it.
So
yeah.
Thanks a lot, Disney.
Yeah, I was about to say the real horror of this story: corporate greed.
But either way, that little girl, we don't know what happened to her.
All right.
They said that she died. She didn't drown. They said that she died going down the rail, sliding down the rail, and I guess she must have fallen off by the pool. I'm not sure if she fell off the rail and then landed in the pool and then drowned. Maybe, I don't know.
So me and my daughters were one of the first ones to go into that room, and there was a big crowd of us. So we were just, getting bored, looking around. So we decided to kind of walk off, and we went down this long hall. We weren't the only ones though. There was other people, and we ended up really, about a mile down, and then we ended up in this one dark room by ourselves, and we can just feel someone staring at us. And it was a pitch black room we walked into. Like we looked at it, like, oh, should we go in there? And we kind of looked at each other like, yeah, let's go. And when we were in there, we heard like a sliding noise, like a footstep, like slide,
Mm-hmm.
And we just like looked at each other and we're like, okay, let's go. But there was definitely something there. No one was there. So it was just hearing like those little creak sounds and sliding.
So that's, if you heard the narration, you heard about two guys in the boiler room.
Yeah.
One supposedly died during the construction of the Queen Mary. There's another guy who was actually 18 years old who got crushed to death by the watertight doors.
Okay.
We walked through
So
those doors.
yeah, we walked through those doors. The watertight doors number 13. So the thing is, this guy does not like males. He only likes females going around there. So supposedly females walk by there and they feel something in their face. They feel someone touching their hand, someone touching their hair. And supposedly there's, actual accounts of this, girls saying that they feel that someone's touching their ass.
Yeah, I remember you trying to scare me, grab my ass, and act like you didn't do it.
I don't think I did that.
Yeah, you did.
Are you sure I did? Was I there?
You were there.
Maybe the spirit manifested himself to look like me and just like,
no, that
got away with the good one.
That was when we came back. We were like, where did you go?
So how did I grab your ass if I didn't know where you were? Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, that's still pretty scary stories.
It was chilly in that room though, because we definitely heard something, and a mouse was not going to make the noise that we heard. It was loud enough if,
Right.
like, something was pushing or step. But it's just crazy because nobody was there. So
There's been a lot of YouTubers, a lot of paranormal investigators that go to the Queen Mary. This is like a hot spot for people who are trying to create content.
Mhm.
We chose this because we actually have firsthand experience
I
in
did.
that ship. Well, my wife did.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
remember we were going down the hall to our rooms, and you said down the hall, which was not that far, towards the end, you saw like a figure.
Yeah, I have a picture of it.
This does not look like anything.
I see it. I swear. There's like a glare every time we were walking to our room, and I could see
Right.
a face just like staring. And I tried to like record a video of it, and my phone would not record until like we walked away. It was weird. Like I hit
Whoa.
record, nothing was going, but then when we turned around and walked away, all of a sudden it started recording. So I don't know if like something was not letting me catch it, but I seen a figurine staring
Figurine is a
or whatever. Sorry,
right? A figure, yes.
A figure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That definitely. I mean, that hits all the ghost story marks. I mean, like, or ghost story experiences of failure in electronics,
Yeah.
unknown figures, that kind of stuff. So,
Well, and like what tripped me out is when he like
mhm.
did investigations and heard about the water running, and I'm like, see, I told you, like ours was running.
When I
Yeah.
heard that
Yeah.
guests reported the water faucets being turned on all of a sudden by themselves, I was like, oh crap. People didn't.
Hear me, Craig. It's not even like a drip. It was legit running.
Yeah,
Right.
it was legit. I remember you showed me, and I was like thinking, like, yeah, you must have left it on.
But yeah, I showed you. I didn't even touch it. I said,
Yeah.
come look, and I
Yeah.
showed you. You're like, no,
So-
you did.
So BuzzFeed, the ones you talked about,
Yeah.
what was their name again? BuzzFeed Paranormal Files or Paranormal
Yeah.
Investigators?
Ghost Files, something
Ghost
like that.
Files, something like that. I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. Is that Asian guy and that tall white guy?
Yeah.
I'm not racist, guys. I'm just calling them out as it is. Anyways, the Asian guy went there when he was 17, and I seen his whole clip. They have like a little clip when he was 17 in the sink in the room they were staying, which was not B340, the infamous room that no one's allowed to stay in anymore.
Yeah.
He was actually just brushing his teeth, and he had a little bag, and all of a sudden the little bag gets tossed to the floor. It like goes up and down, and I don't know. I mean, I'm skeptical. I'm wondering, why is he being videoed brushing his teeth right there? What were they trying to do? Why at that moment was he videoing? But either way, they caught something. I don't know. Maybe it was a string. So they were just doing that on purpose. I don't know. I'm not.
Right.
I mean, I didn't see anything. I didn't feel anything. I was just kind of.
Well, what about that room that we were in with the anchor, like the ropes?
That's the one close to the boiler room.
It was that was in the back of the ship.
No, that was the front of the ship.
Or either way, the end.
Well, is it a forward or aft?
I don't know. Remember the room we were in where like we kind of sat on a sofa, and that was like really dark with all the figures everywhere and stuff like that. That room gave me the chills.
You mean the mannequins?
Oh.
Was there mannequins?
Mannequins in that room.
Yeah, there was mannequins in there.
Oh, of course.
So-
Well, you throw mannequins in. And
So
that's the hot factor.
the HMS Kurakoa. So they
Yeah.
said when that ship was so it was a battleship. It was a small one. It was zigzagging in front of the Queen Mary, and it was supposed to protect it against U-boats. And the Kurakoa was zigzagging to confuse U-boats, enemy U-boats, and the Queen Mary was going so fast it did not realize it was catching up. And so when it caught up, it collided with them, and it just cut the ship in half like butter. They said, and all they heard was screams and crashing, explosions, and like I said, the Queen Mary did not stop. They just kept on going because they were in enemy waters, so they had to radio it in saying what happened. And 2 hours later, other ships came in to see if there was any survivors, which there was like 99 of them, from what I remember. Out of close to the 500, there was a lot of them that died, and supposedly their screams are heard where those ropes were at the front of the ship, because that's what happened.
Yeah, that room was really scary. That's the one where I was messing with one of our daughters. I kept tapping her on the shoulder, and she'd turn and no one would be there. So I kind of did it from like behind at an angle. So We ended up telling her it was us. I didn't want to scare. I didn't want her to be up all night. I felt bad.
Aw.
But, I mean, we were having fun with it, but at the same time, like that room, you just can feel like chills. I don't know. I
Negative energy or like a weight, I
like,
would say.
just something's watching you. You know, like you're not alone. There's something behind your shoulder. You know.
Right.
I was
definitely got the creeps.
I
out
was
of it.
just tired. I was like, man, I just want to go to my room and just go to bed.
You just didn't want to encounter anything. You were dreading it.
No, I think I was more tired.
Gonna pull an Ned Flander.
I was more
You
tired.
was gonna bust a Ned.
No, no. I was very, very tired. I was wearing boots.
You were driving all day too.
Yeah.
You had a long drive.
Yeah. California traffic, you know, that's the most
yeah.
horrifying thing in California.
Yeah.
But anyways, that night I mean,
So how did you sleep in your room?
I woke up
Yeah.
several times. I had Frankie and Ruben sleep in the same bed. I had the whole bed to myself, and
that's how
I was closer to the bathroom and the door.
Same.
So
Mhm.
That's parental skills right there.
the only thing was it was kind of hot in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Was the AC working?
The ACs were not working. I couldn't get our window open.
I opened it the next
You
morning
opened it the next morning for us.
But yeah.
They had those little, what kind of windows were they?
portholes. They call them portholes.
Yeah. And I could not get it open.
I opened mine easily. I left it open too.
But also, I woke up in the middle of the night freaking out because what was the story they told us how they had cats on the ship?
Oh, so they had cats because back in those days, if you have one rat on your ship, the whole like reputation of that ship goes down. So
Right.
The Queen Mary is a top of the line luxurious ship, you know. So one rat, one mouse can literally remove, you know.
Ruin it.
Yeah, it's like a Yelp review, you know. You have
Yeah.
nothing but 5 stars, but one little mouse can take you down to 2 stars. But anyways, they had cats
Yeah.
at that ship to, you know, combat the mice.
Well, they were working cats. And
They were working
They
cats.
said that it was heard that people on the ship would feel like hair brushed against their leg, like if it was a cat, and things like that. So, anywho, I went to bed with the TV on because, you know, the girls were, you know, we just got done from that tour. I woke up and jumped out of bed because I heard a meow sound, some meowing.
Oh, wow.
And I looked around, and it just happened to be a Meow Mix commercial. But,
She left
Oh my God.
she left the TV on. She left the TV
but
on.
just the thought of me waking up to a meow, like I really thought I had a cat in the room. Like it was crazy.
I wanted to wake up and mess it at your door, just like knock on your door and just go back.
To you too, but then I was like, nah, he'll get mad.
No, I was honestly too scared to even go on that hallway.
Yeah, our doors were right across from each other, so which was great. Like at first we thought we were going to be on the other side.
No, we're not like across from the hall. We're actually like so.
It's down one narrow hallway, and the doors are side by side.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
But yeah, we were lucky to be right across right from each other, like a step away, pretty much.
Yeah,
Right,
just a
right.
step away.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't a wild night, but I was very tired, and if anyone was wanting to harm me, I was like, all right, cool, you know, let me go back to sleep.
And what about that one room that is so expensive to rent out?
Oh, B340.
Yes.
Yeah. So it was all the furniture was taken off of it several years ago. I would say like in between 2010 and 2016.
Someone committed suicide in that room.
I don't know the full story. They don't know. They
that's
don't
what
know.
said. They had a Ouija board set up in that room.
Why would they have a
How
Ouija
did
board?
they do that?
It was funny because there was a cockroach running across the wall, and we're like, "Oh, there he is." So that was weird, but like the vibe in that room was very
Negative.
Yeah.
You went in there. It's nothing but darkness in there.
Yeah.
And don't they have a black light?
They had a black light flashing, and then you just kind of observe the room, walk around, take a little tour in and out. But yeah, they had a whole Ouija board and candles set up right in the center. So that was a little freaky.
Yeah, it was. So
I'm just looking up. B340. I mean, with the power of Google at my hand.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, $499 per night. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's true haunting.
So
the next morning we wake up and we're like, well, we slept pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
we went to go eat breakfast upstairs and
the beds were comfortable. Like, you know, the room was nice.
Yeah. But I was getting to the breakfast, remember?
Yeah.
So California, they Oh my god! So we eat breakfast, all
Hidden-
6 of us.
Hidden fees
Hidden fees
Ooh.
for breakfast. Over $200.
for 6 of
That
us.
was the most frightening thing I encountered in that ship was the damn bill.
Yeah.
It was a good breakfast though. I ain't
Yeah, it
gonna
was a
lie.
buffet. All you can eat. They have like all kinds of stuff.
Okay, so
You know, people come in and bring you drinks, and the coffee was good. It was worth it.
It was. It was. It
And
just.
then surrounded by nice people. There was one lady that loved my hair. Remember her? So for those that don't know,
She was not wearing white
really
hair
bright
or
red
white
hair.
dress.
So
Yeah, I was on the lookout for the lady in white. We didn't go into the ballroom, did we?
no, it was locked off.
So yeah, the
unfortunately.
ballroom was actually one of the most haunted places on the
I
ship, but
just
they
wanted
didn't
to go
want
in
to take.
there, but it was locked off.
Yeah,
Um,
the pool area where that little girl Jacqueline is at, we were only in there briefly because of what we
Yeah.
said, you know.
but we were able to view it on the other side, besides the boiler room. And our daughter swears she heard giggling. So,
okay.
I mean, that's her experience, and I believe her.
So it's said that some of the spirits have come to protect the little girl Jacqueline.
Mhm.
They're really protective over her. There's like several spirits that like to play with her, so something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like I said in the narration that it was sold to the ship was sold to the city of Long Beach,
Mhm.
and after they put it on a dry dock, they started reporting a lot of strange activities over there, and one of the most legendary activities happened on the Queen Mary. It was by this forget this guy's name. I think he was a director or a producer. I'm not sure. Either way, he was caught on camera talking to an entity. I mean, you don't see her, but you just see him talking to someone for like over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So the guy's name is Peter James. He's the one who had the encounter with Jacqueline, and supposedly it went down in paranormal legend that he actually saw her and conversed with her for over 10 minutes.
Okay.
And that's what got the Queen Mary on the map for paranormal activity, pretty much. So yeah, him just talking to someone and then realizing, oh, I wasn't talking to anyone. How would you feel about that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So.
Yeah, it was an experience staying at the Queen Mary. Would you stay at the Queen Mary knowing what you know now?
Yeah, I'd probably just do it just for the fun, for the experience. I mean, granted, with like you said, the hidden fees, everything else like that. I think that's what would be more scary about going there.
I would definitely like to go again, though. I would love to explore some more because I feel like we went there and our trip went so fast.
Well, it's because we had a lot of family to visit.
Well, that's the tough part about vacation. You got to run around and see everybody.
I think I was more scared staying at your dad's house because your dad was,
He's very
huge.
protective.
Yeah, no, he's a huge guy. Well, he's old now, but if you're listening to this, Chris, I'm sorry, but I was thinking that he was gonna see me cuddling with his little girl, and he's gonna be like looking over at me. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing, boy?"
Yeah.
Anyways, if you were to go to that ship, I'm pretty sure you'll probably experience something because the lady in white, she's still looking for a single guy, and you're a single man.
Oh, Frank. This.
I would definitely like to go again, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. I
At
think
least 2 nights,
No, not stay 2 nights. No, I would like to stay there for a few hours and try to capture some EVP or some footage of them talking to us or communing with us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be a good thing to do, something to do. I mean, we're in the realm of the paranormal. Might as well try to capture something paranormal.
Exactly. But no, I agree. I think that's something. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that. I'd probably just do one night. I mean, if something happens, great. If not, well, there's enough people that say things happen, so I'll take it at value.
Yeah, well, nothing happened to me because I didn't want anything to happen to me. I was in that mentality like, all right, you don't mess with me, I don't mess with you, pretty much, right? That's what I was.
I was pretty much in there like smiles, like, "Hi, how are you?"
You're poking at the bear.
Yeah.
No.
You hear a dishwasher? Was that a dishwasher?
Yeah, dishes are done.
All right, awesome.
See, I'm multitasking.
There you go.
So the narration, that was my very very first one. Hopefully when this goes on, on Spotify or iTunes or whatever, when people hear it, they're like, "Oh, this guy sucks." I tried my best. I redid that 17 times. I don't know why. I just could not get it right the first 16 times. I just like, all right.
I gotta. You were all here by yourself with no distractions.
Well, I got off of work early, and I was like thinking to myself, might as well get it done and over with. And I was actually creeping myself out reading this thing out loud here by myself with the dogs. That's another reason why we have pets. All of our listeners are listening to us. We have 5 cats and 3 dogs.
I'm a crazy cat lady.
And 4 kids.
Yeah.
Well, the kids were at school either way, but still. This is why I had to get it done before they got home from school, because they are very noisy.
Kids.
Well, I mean,
So they're home right now. They're not making noise because we kind of like told them like, hey, mommy and daddy are working right now. So either way, like I was saying, when I was reading it over and over, I was like scaring myself because I was reading what I was reading, and I was like, oh man, this is kind of creepy. I didn't want to read it because I kept on thinking someone was staring at me, I was thinking I was back in the shit. I was putting myself back in the shit pretty much.
Freak you out too. Our brother-in-law, he swears he feels stuff almost like a medium.
Wayne.
Yes, and he feels stuff.
Whoa! What the hell was that?
Jax.
The dog freak
He's freaked out on us right now. What was that? Okay, we stop talking about the Queen Mary now. He doesn't want us to talk about it.
So no, our downstairs basement has a crawl space, and our brother-in-law, he swears he feels something down there. So I really, really want to what are those things called, babe? I want to put it down there.
The tape recorders that record EVP?
Yeah.
I do not want to do that. I'm comfortable here in my own house. Why do you want to make me uncomfortable?
Just want to see if it goes off.
No. Well, anyways, we're talking about the Queen Mary and our own home. Either way, supposedly he has like a 6th sense.
What happened?
Supposedly.
What happened?
Right.
Do you have anything to add, Greg?
No, not really. But I mean, it was great hearing your stories. It's always great to hear personal stories. But if I ever do go to LA, then I'll try my best to get into the Queen Mary.
It's not that hard.
I know, but I mean,
a lot of people don't like to stay over there because it's haunted. So there's plenty of rooms. It wasn't that hard for us, was it?
No, there was a lot. The bar was popping. They had a bar at night.
Oh no!
Wait, they got a bar?
It was Navy Week. There was
the military was in town.
Yeah, in San Pedro. There was what was it called? Port Week, Ship Week, or
something like that. Yeah.
It was military sailors in their uniforms were there.
They come in and go bar.
Right.
Yeah, they were bar hopping, and we were just there looking for ghosts. But these guys were actually having a good time at the ship.
I know the tour guide told I could take my daughter in there really quick to get a water, and the lady's like, "She can't be in here." I'm like, "We're just getting water."
Yeah. So during the tours, we take breaks because the tours are pretty long. I would say like almost 2 hours long.
They were about 2.5.
Yeah, we started at what time did we start our tour? At 9.
Yeah.
And we ended it at 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was 2 hours long, but we took 10-minute breaks, and we had to go grab water, and it was at the bar. But the best thing about that, they have like a little gift shop in there, and that's where we bought this book where I did my main research on. It was the book is called Ghosts of the Queen Mary, and it was written by Brian Clune and Bob Davis.
All right.
So this book really helped a lot on my research.
Well, it's interesting to read all that, especially given we stayed on there, and it was close by where we lived.
It was not fun reading this here by myself in the middle of the day when our living room is all dark.
And I think Jax gave everybody a jump scare.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a husky. He's very vocal.
I think he wants to go outside.
Yeah. He's like, take me out already.
All right, Greg, if you have nothing else to add, I think we should end this here on the high note.
Yes, we should. No, I got nothing else, but no, I'll be like I said. That was fun chatting with y'all. Um, so I'm glad to be on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
For
Yeah, thank
our
you.
viewers, do you have any scary stories about your profession where you work at?
Or did you stay on the Queen Mary and have personal experiences yourself? That's
Mm.
good to hear.
Are you talking to the listeners or are you talking to Greg?
Listeners.
Oh, I was confused.
There's
All right.
all right.
Do you have any stories about your profession? Anything scary that you can share?
Well, maybe not on this episode, but we'll get around to it.
Yeah, I think we should have another episode where Greg is just going on and on about his job. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That's kind of morbid.
Well, yeah, but it's as long as the names aren't mentioned. But no,
Yeah.
like I said, on another episode, we can definitely do something.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
All right.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and hopefully you guys had some goosebumps along the way. Anyways,
Exactly.
we'll see
Well,
you
thank
guys
you so
next
much.
time.